山田か？違ったらどうしよう。あ、罠か。握り直したら痴漢。手汗。
So easily and without doubt, this episode of Dangers in My Heart was everything I wanted out of an episode. This episode was so good, my effing cheekbones hurt. That's how much I was smiling like a dummy while watching this episode. I was giddy with glee. And I think I said my heart can't handle this like 4 or 5 times, like three of which were internal, but 2 of which were external. And I just kept saying like, yo, my heart can't handle this. This cuteness overload over and over and over again. And I told you guys last week during episode 9 that like, I don't necessarily need them to go full tilt, but I just wanted a little something. And this episode was them holding hands. Now, of course, the ending kind of got me a little bit shaky because 𝐜𝐴Toro is still there, contemplating life and everything. Basically, you know, chalking up them holding hands as her just being touchy-feely with everybody that she's close to and him being similar. And it's like, bro, you could definitely tell no one's hands get clammy like that when it's just something that is nominal, something that is completely friendly. It's something a little bit more in that. And I like that he has an inner voice that can kind of help him put 2 and 2 together, but the reality is he needs to start putting 2 and 2 together a little bit quickly based on all the things. His inner voice even called him out, and he was like, what was the major thing that occurred that occurred during this outing? And he was like, I told her not now, calling back to the moment where he was talking about her meeting his sister formally. And he said, not now. And freaking Yamada answered, okay, well then when? And he was like, soon. So that it's like they're making this informal bond between them. And I think it's incredibly cute, but B, it's like he needs to kind of wake up to the fact that like, you're in not so many words, like you're establishing this relationship. Maybe you're not saying the words like go out with me, but you're establishing this relationship. So eventually, whether it's verbal or nonverbal, you're gonna be in it, bro. You just gotta figure out how to navigate that, which it obviously is very, very, very complicated for 𝐜𝐴Toro to try and put all these feelings and emotions and new things into play, put them into words is even harder than that. You could definitely, sympathize with him and kind of understand. You can empathize with him and understand, which makes sense. But thankfully, Yamada's being a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more of an aggressor, a little bit more straightforward, and that's exactly what our boy needs, because he needs that little bit more straightforwardness to kind of really grasp at it. Because if she wasn't as straightforward, he wouldn't be able to put things together. Even though they're being put together at a really slow pace right now, he would be even wider of a gap before putting them together if she was kind of a little bit more non-straightforward, which I think is needed on Yamada's part here. But like, really fantastic episode, and I just loved every moment of them. They got to hold hands for a very long time. I thought that was incredibly cute. We already talked about the sister stuff. I thought that was really cute. He tried to say goodbye. He tried to say, Happy New Year. She was like, stop. We're going to see each other again before the New Year happens. So hopefully we get a New Year episode as well, too, of them kind of celebrating the New Year, either going into it or the day of. I think that's going to be really, really cute as well, too. So overall, I just freaking love this episode. I love how they have the cutscenes where it's like, oh, we lost the sense of when to stop holding hands. We walked slowly. I was like, oh my God, it's so freaking cute. It's just so cute. I love when they were on the escalator, how he was gonna go in front of her to be a man about it, but she didn't want to because she wants to look him into the eyes, and he's on the escalator and make him even shorter than he already is. But overall, like, this 10 out of 10 episode, I love this anime so much. It's been such a highlight this season. But let me kind of go through the all the different points of this episode, and then we'll kind of wrap up. So first off, we get the date, right? So the excuse of the manga was a big win for Yamada. They go meet up in Shibuya because she's gonna give him the manga. Boy shows up looking like a effing ninja. He looks ridiculous. He didn't really realize it was her kind of like at first because she looks really sophisticated and older, but he saw her pull out what I called a pocket hash brown. And he's like, yep, that's her. I wrote down that he looked ridiculous in a very different ways. I wrote down he looked like a ninja. He looked like a stalker. He looked like a background character. He looked like a bad guy. He looked like a punk. He looked like a bully. And then I wrote down that he looks like a bad guy background character. So I wrote all those different things of how stupid he looked and just ridiculous. Then the OP played, and I was like, yo, this OP is so boppy and so cute. He thought for a second, it's Christmas Eve, he thought for a second Yamada didn't know what day it was. Dummy. She knew exactly what day it was. She knew exactly what she was doing. Oh, I wrote down he looked suspect. He finally realized it. He took his mask off. He realized that he looked ridiculous, so I love that. And then instead of holding hands as they were going place to place, they decided to hold the manga bag, which was really cute. Kind of their interim holding things together. They talked about not going to amusement parks on first dates. Basically, Yamada hinting that this is their first date because standing in line can be awkward when you don't have things to talk about. So I thought that was really cute. She mentioned that her mom did her hair. I thought that was incredibly cute, that her mom got her dolled up for the date. I thought that was awesome. During the day, he asked for coffee because he couldn't afford where they went. He just doesn't have the money for it. And she took that as he doesn't like places like this, but really it was too expensive for him. He doesn't work. She probably doesn't understand the full concept of money because she works for it. She gets paid a lot because she's a model. When I say a lot for a child, you know what I mean? So having money to her is not something that is foreign, but for him it is because he's probably a normal kid. So that was one thing. The good thing is that she paid. During their date, during their little date, he orders black coffee and he didn't go for the sugar. And I was like, bro, who just drinks black coffee? Especially when you're 14 or whatever. Like, yo, even I don't like straight black coffee. I'm not a really sugar guy. I'm not really big on putting sugar in my coffee, but I will put a little cream or a little milk or something. Like, who just drinks straight black coffee like that? I was like, oh no, don't do that. While they were ordering the coffee, though, I like how the lady asked them. And then Yamada would ask 𝐒𝐴TRO, and then he would answer her, and then Yamada would answer the lady. And I was like, that's realistic. That's how a lot of relationships work. There's a lot of relationships to where, like, one person is kind of more outgoing, more socialistic and stuff, and the other isn't. I know that's the same way it is kind of like in my relationship sometimes. So a lot of times I'll put my wife out there, like, yo, you deal with dealing with people. Like, I don't want to. So I thought that was a realistic thing. I thought that was really, really cute. During that whole entire time, they took pictures and stuff, a video. She sent it to him. He gets caught up in looking at it, and she grabs Boy by the chin, and she says, don't get caught up in looking at that. Look at the real thing. And I was like, damn, girl, let's go. I was like, what else hints do you need? They go have some rom-com date. They go into a dressing room, and we get some Yamada fan service, which I really enjoyed. His sister showed up because, of course, she did, to the same effing store that they're at. Random. Like, yeah, that only happens in anime. But regardless, Yamada pulls him into her dressing room. Nice shot, I wrote down. And then that's where the scene comes where I already talked about. And then, obviously, it ends with them holding hands and everything else. And just so cute. Fantastic episode. 10 out of 10. Easy. I love this date episode. It was so cute. Again, my heart can't take it. My cheekbones can't take it. They're going to be permanently like that. I'm going to have permanent lines on my face because of how much I was smiling. Regardless, though, thank you guys for joining me for another episode. I can't wait to watch episode 11 with you guys. With this specific anime here, I believe we have 12 episodes in total. So we have episode 11 and 12. Oh my god. And it's over. The other thing, too, is I don't know if... I'm looking at this on High Dive right now. I don't know if this is getting a dub. If it is, it hasn't yet. On High Dive, it's only listed as Japanese. So hopefully this gets a dub as well, because I think this would be really popular if it gets a dub. The bad thing is High Dive is a good platform, and I really love High Dive, but it's not as how do you say it? It's not as good for the anime, or it's not advertising wise. Like, if this was on Netflix and got a dub, it would be huge. So even though I really don't like Netflix at all, I prefer High Dive, but I'm in the anime community. It would be huge for those who are just stumbling upon it on like a Netflix, or maybe even Hulu, but Hulu's not good. Like, Netflix would be the spot for this one. So anyways, let me know what you guys thought. See you guys next week, my friends. Have a great weekend. Deuce.